In a quiet village where the sun always seemed too bright and the nights too silent, there lived a girl named Lila. People said she was strange not because she spoke too much, but because she often spoke when no one was there. Lila spoke to shadows. At first, the villagers thought it was childish imagination. Children often played with things unseen. Lila never grew out of it. As she got older, her conversations became longer, quieter, more serious. "Don't go there," she would whisper to the dark shape behind a wall. "Why are you sad today?" She would ask the long shadows stretching across her floor at dusk. And sometimes, she really listened as if something answered back. Her grandmother, the only one who didn't dismiss her, once said, "Shadows are not empty. They remember things light forgets." Lila didn't fully understand then, but she would. One evening, just as the sun sank and shadows stretched like reaching fingers, Lila noticed something unusual. Her own shadow did not move with her. She stepped forward. It stayed. She turned. It remained facing the other direction. A cold silence filled the room. "Why aren't you following me?" Lila asked softly. For the first time, her shadow responded not in words she could hear, but in a feeling that pressed against her chest. Fear, not her fear. "The shadows. From what?" she whispered. The candle flickered. The walls seemed to breathe. And then, slowly, the other shadows in the room began to shift, inching closer. They gathered around, her not touching, but surrounding. Like a silent warning, her shadow stretched toward the door. It wanted her to leave. That night, Lila followed the shadows out of her home, crossed the empty village paths, and toward the forest, the one place no one dared to go after dark. The deeper she walked, the heavier the air became. The shadows here were thicker, darker, almost alive. "Tell me what's wrong," she said, her voice steady despite the fear crawling up her spine. The shadows trembled. Then one rose higher than the others, forming a shape not quite human, not quite anything she could name. And suddenly, Lila understood. Not through words, through memory, through pain. Long ago, something had been hidden in the forest, something the villagers chose to forget. The shadows had kept the memory, holding it in silence for years. But now it was waking. A low rumble echoed through the trees. The ground shifted. And from the darkness ahead, something began to move. Something that did not cast a shadow at all. Lila stepped back. The shadows clung to her feet, as if begging her not to run. "They're afraid of it," she realized. "That's why they called me." The thing moved closer, a hollow shape that seemed to swallow light itself. Lila's heart pounded, but she didn't turn away. "If you remember," she said to the shadows, her voice shaking, "then you know how to stop it." The shadows pulsed. Then, slowly, they began to rise not away from her, but around her. wrapping her, filling her. For a moment, everything went dark. When Lila opened her eyes, she could see differently. Not just the shapes of things, but their hidden edges, their forgotten parts. The creature lunged. But this time, it wasn't faster than the shadows. They surged forward, binding it, pulling it apart, not with force, but with truth. With everything it had tried to erase. The creature let out a silent scream and vanished. Just like that. Gone. The forest grew still. Stellos loosened their hold on Lila, retreating back to where they belonged. Her own shadow returned to her feet, quiet and obedient once more. "Thank you," she whispered. For a brief second, it flickered, as if smiling. Lila returned to the village before sunrise. No one asked where she had been. No one noticed anything had changed. But Lila knew. And sometimes, when the sun dipped low and the shadows stretched long, she still listened. Because shadows don't just follow, they remember. And sometimes, they speak.